You know, obviously, you know, last year we had a great experience and was able to, you know, showcase Youngstown and YSU and the fan support, and it was a great night. And you know, hopefully we can, you know, play another really very good game against a very quality opponent, Chad. You've got you know, Milwaukee coming in right now, where you know they might be playing the best in the league. I mean, they beat Green Bay at home and Wright State at home, and you know, this is a team that's playing very confident. They're a very good basketball team.
Coach, you hit this stretch, you know, 3 games at home, 2 of them are league games. You're only 2 games out of 4th spot in the horizon. Like, how big is this 2 games?
You know, it's you know, the league, you know, other than really, you know, maybe 1 or 2 teams, this is as balanced a league as I've seen during my time here. You look at it where you're really a couple of wins from being in that in that 4th spot. So, you know, it's important that you take care of your home court. And then, like I've always said, if you can, you know, win at home and steal 1 or 2 on the road in this league, you know, you can finish in that 3, 4, 5 spot. And that's the way it is right now. I mean, when you look at the standings, they kind of have 2 teams or 3 teams maybe that had kind of distanced themselves, and then everybody else is right in the thick of it.
Coach, you picked up a couple of wins against UIC and Loyola. You talked about it after those games. You said your team had played with a little more of a chip on its shoulder on the road, you thought, as opposed to home. Why do you think that has been the case in the past this season?
Well, you know, I mean, Chad, I don't know. I mean, you know, when you're in a hostile environment and you're in a gym that's packed and they're calling you all nice names and you know, love my family background and that kind of thing, you know, it makes you focus. It gets your attention a little bit. But as you know, we played well at home the last time. We really played pretty good at Valpo. Had a chance to win that game. If we made our free throws, we probably would have. You know, Butler is who they are. That's a tough place to play. We're excited about having the opportunity now to, you know, to be at home for our next 3 games and know the value and the importance of it. I mean, we have to play extremely well to beat these 2 teams that are very, very good teams coming in terms of our league play with, you know, Milwaukee and Green Bay. So we understand the task that's at hand, and we've got to play. We're going to have to play 40 minutes. I mean, one of the things that, you know, has been disappointing for me in this year is the fact that, you know, we've played good basketball in almost every game with the exception of just a couple. For us to go where we want to go, and for us to be as consistent as we want to be, and that is really the term, we've got to play 40 minutes of basketball. We can't go out and play, you know, 22 minutes or you know, in our Valpo game 25 minutes. If we're going to beat these teams that are good in this league, you know, you've got to have an effort for 40, and that's really been that's been our focus this week.
You talk about what Franklin and Ayers, what type of problems they present for you.
They're good basketball players. I mean, you know, I think Franklin, you know, has probably had one of the best years of anybody in our league in terms of the guard play. You know, he dominates the ball. He plays almost every minute of every game. He doesn't really come out. He's a workhorse that really has the game to back it. And then Ayers is you know, he's an anomaly. He's a big guy that shoots threes and would rather be on the arc rather than be inside. And when he's inside, he's big and wide, and you can't, hard to guard down there. And then all of a sudden, he's picking and popping and taking jump shots. So, you know, those 2 guys are having really, really solid years. And again, if I had to pick somebody who's maybe had one of the most solid years consistently, night in and night out in this league, it might be Franklin. I mean, he's had that kind of a year.
Coach, we talked about the standings in the league. Do you talk to you guys about that, the importance of, you know, realizing, hey, there's a pretty big opportunity, or do you kind of leave it unsaid to them?
Oh, there's one of those moments. You know, Chad, I don't know. I mean, I like to think they know about it. I'd like to, I really don't sit around every day or in our practice time and say, you have this win, you end up here, whatever, because what ends up happening is, like last year, we were down and out, won 4 in a row, and finished 6th, close to 5th. So there's a lot of basketball to be played. We haven't been, we're not at the halfway mark yet, and there's a lot of basketball. And the nice thing about it is the rest of the way, we've played mostly on the road. We've played 3 home games, 5 on the road, and now we get the second half. We get 5 at home. So, I haven't put all of our eggs in any one basket, but it's obviously important, and it's obviously something that we'll kind of mention, but we won't sell it out totally with that thought yet.
What's one area on the floor you want to see your team improve, besides the consistency
Well,
part?
I'd have to say that. I mean, Mike, I'd have to say consistency. I mean, there's times we shoot the free. Sometimes there'll be games that we'll shoot, 85 to 90% from the foul line for 3 or 4 games, and then you'll shoot 58, 60, and then there's times that your field goal percentage is 47, 48, and then you have a game where it's 38%. And then there's another game that you'll have 7 turnovers for a whole game against a team that pressures the heck out of you, and then you'll have a night that you have 17 or 18 turnovers against a zone. So, somewhere in there is a pretty good basketball team, and that's how we kind of presented it. Somewhere in there's a good basketball team trying to get out. And we've got to find that from a consistent basis. Rebounding is a concern. We have to rebound the ball better, but consistency is a factor, and we have got to get guys to give you not 25 and one night and 3 the next. We've got to get some guys that are important in this program. We got to get those guys to give you that 12 to 14 every single night. And really start to kind of firm up. It's coach talk, but being consistently good.
Is that, this might be a mumbo jumbo thing, but is that a lack of focus, or what do you? I know if you had the answer,
I tell you what, you got it. I'm buying it. You charge me whatever you want.
But what do you think you attribute that to? Not having the consistency.
I have no. I mean, hopefully, we're finding ourselves in a season. All season has ups and downs, and all season during the year, as I said to you last Saturday night, that it's a fleeting thing. I mean, you go on the road, you play in 2 hostile gyms and you battle hard, you lose a close game, and all of a sudden you didn't do anything good. Nah, that's not the case. You did a lot of things good, and you just didn't do the things that you have to do in 3 possessions to win the game. And so it's hard to put a finger on something that's that elusive. It's like grabbing air. I mean, you just hope that somehow that you start to perpetuate some positive things and find it.